Has Giannis silenced his critics?
Absolutely. And if he hasn't silenced them, y'all talk too much. Because Giannis, he gave you a 30-point half. Last time we saw a 30-point half in the NBA Finals, I believe it was Allen Iverson when he was stepping over Ty Lue.
Don't do that.
Giannis,
That's
out here,
coach.
he gave us 42. He gave us 42 and 12 people. What else do you want from the man in the finals, in his first NBA's finals appearance? Giannis in a season post-history, 10 times, single-season post-history, 10 post-season history. 10 times has he given you 30 points, 10 boards, and that is right up there with Shaq, Hakeem, Kareem, Elgin Baylor, and then you see Giannis Antetokounmpo. If you still are doubting Giannis and his excellence, then you just are a doubtful individual because he has silenced his critics, and you really can't ask for much more than what he gave last night.
No, he has not silenced his critics, Acho. And I think Marcellus is probably going to back me up on this because he's going to be one of those critics who has not been silenced. But that said, you trotted out the numbers. You didn't trot out the most important one, which is wins and losses.
Ooh.
Until Giannis wins a title, the numbers are meaningless. All the guys that you pointed out have those numbers, but they also had those numbers in winning. Now, what Giannis did do in Game 2, while he did not silence his critics, he did provide ammunition for his advocates. And I am one of those because I saw in Giannis in Game 2 some things that I've been waiting to see. And while I don't know that he's going to win a championship this year, what he showed me is that he has the capability of winning a championship, and I wasn't always certain of that. 11 for 18 free throws. Those are the most free throws that he's made and the most free throws that he's attempted in a playoff game this year. I don't know that there's a stat-keeping record for number of mid-range jumpers, but he made 5 of 7, and I dare say that's a personal record for him in all of the playoffs and maybe his entire career. What I saw was a Giannis Antetokounmpo who took control of the situation, who basically took his team by the scruff of the neck and said, I am going to try to get us there. Marcellus asked a very good question after Game 1 about, is it that Giannis doesn't have enough around him, or is it because Giannis isn't enough? In Game 2, and it's a fair question, and it was a fair question after Game 1, but after Game 2, Giannis demonstrated he has enough. He is enough. He may not have enough around him, and certainly did not have enough around him in Game 2. That was the reason for the result that we saw.
Yeah, man. I'm with you, Slick Rick here. Sorry, Acho. I know you tried to box me in by calling me a doubtful individual, but I
didn't know your take at the time.
Yeah, you already knew what I was coming with. Yeah, I'm still doubting this dude, like everyone else is, because there were 2 questions at play right here, and he hasn't answered both of them correctly. One, can he play individually great at the biggest level in the biggest games as Giannis, the 2-time MVP, can? Yes, he answered that one. What about the other one? Can he be a driving force towards a championship? Towards it, yeah, but actually achieving it looks like no. Because as you fly high, you see other greats who couldn't answer both questions correctly. Charles Barkley, who takes ridicule all the time because he never won a championship. And this is Charles Barkley. Karl Malone as well. We don't hear it as much because he's not on television, but he hears this as much. And they're both better than Giannis, and they still have to hear criticism and ridicule. Because when people fly over and look at the greats, hey, this is Wiley Airlines Flight 187, looking for the greats out there, looking down, oh, there's Giannis, okay, single down right there, 10,000 feet. You see him, and he's like, I'm here, individually. And then we look around him, and we see what they've accomplished. Abort mission. Because they have not conquered it just yet. 6-5 in his career record in playoff series. 6-5. 32-28 career playoff record. 32-28. These are hovering around 500 numbers. 10-7 this postseason when this was the best version of Giannis we've ever seen. So it's just not adding up. I am not doubting Giannis, as I didn't doubt Charles Barkley or Karl Malone, but I know how it goes when they fly over. They ain't looking for all those details. They saying, did you do it or did you not? And right now, it's going to land squarely on Giannis.
Here's the thing, though, fellas. Here is the thing. Y'all remember, at least I remember, in the church growing up, they would say, don't judge someone for sinning differently than you.
Ooh.
And I got to say, don't judge Giannis for scoring different than you like. Giannis gave you 42, and he gave you 12 boards on 15 of 22 shooting.
That's banging.
That's sufficient.
That's good.
And that is effective.
Yep.
If someone else, Devin Booker, Chris Paul, Chris Middleton, Kevin Durant, would have done that, we would have been like, wow, 42 points, 15 of 22 shooting. But Giannis does it, and we're like, nah, it's not enough. Don't judge someone who sins different than you, and don't judge Giannis because he scores different than you like. Because at the end of the day, Giannis is scoring. The Bucks were +3 with Giannis on the court, -13 without Giannis on the court. He was only off the court for 8 minutes. -13 in those 8 minutes. That correlates to the Bucks losing by 78 points over the course of a 48-minute ball game. Please stop judging Giannis because he scores differently than you like. Last example I'll bring up, it was 93-88. Suns, fourth quarter. 8 minutes, 39 seconds left in the game. Giannis just had to go to the sideline to fix his shoe, America.
My shoe?
He had to take off his shoe. And the time it took Giannis to take his shoe off, put his shoe back on, and check into the game 50 seconds later, the Suns went on a 5-0 run. That is the impact that Giannis has. Take a shoe off and put it on, and the game goes from being a 5-point game to a 10-point game, and coach got to call a timeout. Giannis is doing enough. It's everybody else that's falling short.
No question. I'm not disputing that, Acho. I'm not disputing that he didn't get enough help from the Bucks. I'm not disputing the impact that he has. But the great flaw in your argument just now was suggesting that he is judged different than Devin Booker and Chris Paul, and how unfair that might be. Giannis Antetokounmpo is a 2-time league MVP. He is a defensive player of the year. He's a guy who won MVP and defensive player in the same year. Yes, I am going to judge him differently because no, I've never seen Devin Booker or Chris Paul even be in serious conversation for either one of those awards. And I've never looked at either one of them and said, when is he going to win a championship? Because he's achieved just about everything else. When is he going to make good on that league MVP? I haven't asked that question. I have, and deservedly asked that question about Giannis Antetokounmpo because of what he has accomplished. So, yes, it is fair to ask for more than what we saw. I loved what I saw, especially the intangible, the thing that we never saw from Charles Barkley. We never saw from Karl Malone. And that was him demanding from his teammates in a huddle. And there's guys that would do that for the camera. Giannis doesn't have a contrived bone in his body. That was not for the camera. That was, I need to find a way to lead this team, and I've earned the right to do it. I loved seeing that. They're not going to get that from anybody else with these Milwaukee Bucks. I never saw Charles do that. I never saw Karl do that. It's why I have hope that Giannis, at some point, is going to win a championship. But my expectation that he wins a championship, that is not out of line based on what he's accomplished.
Man, y'all breaking it down, and let's keep breaking it down. It's a fair question out there right now because I know it's been posed to me. Are they better without Giannis at times? Because certainly everyone else.
No, come on.
Hey, I didn't say it was a smart question.
You can't go
I said it's a
that.
fair
No.
question. I don't
The
think
answer
that
is
they
no.
are. But everyone else activates. See, this is the problem. People always think if you take Giannis away, there's just going to be this huge crater of void. But the other players will fill that with something. Now, we've seen them fill it. Drew Holiday was better, right? We see it. Chris Middleton steps up. I'm not saying they are better. I'm just telling you, when he's not there, somehow, some way, others activate. Now, the genius occurs when he is present and they still are activated, which may lend itself to some of the leadership issues or maybe just philosophy issues where they can't play optimal basketball. I digress. But let's talk about Giannis because we do judge him correctly. And I love my boy Acho cooking these books over here because Giannis in this series right now has a +4 ±, which is, all right, whatever. It's pretty good. They lost 2 games and you got a +4. That's all right.
No, that's good.
But you got a -7 in the first half. and then a plus 11 in the second half. So you're starting off slow. Now, a team that needs their leader to come out there, I understand compromise with the knee injury, but let's get this thing started a little quicker if we must. But you know what? It doesn't matter how he starts, how he finishes. Shooting 19% in these playoffs and 55% from the free throw line is not helping your cause in terms of winning a championship when you look at Giannis. Giannis reminds me of, I know we all got this family member, and don't y'all lie because y'all on TV, who graduated from, barely got into JUCO and barely graduated, right? So we all gonna celebrate. We all going to Sizzlers. We gonna do that damn thing. But don't lie, when he go to the bathroom, we like, I don't know how this gonna end up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, he graduated, but. Giannis is great, but. Like, what the hell is gonna come from all this greatness is the conversation I'm having, the same one I had at Sizzlers about my cousin. No, I ain't gonna say his name on TV.